flibbity jib. I won't say any other word. They're doing, and not everyone does, but she certainly does. Man, just a joy, pleasure, challenge, pleasure, and all around exquisite professional experience. This and fun, great fun to play him and play the villain. It's always much more interesting to play a villain. Sorry, Robert, than to play the hero. Though I must admit, heroes in video games are much more interesting characters than your typical hero. But villains are great. I think you're planning to, or did you talk with Neil Kaplan already?
Yeah, I talked to him, yeah.
Yeah, see. 'Cause look at the fun you have with a character like that that's also a villain kind of character, a heavy, and what a great character that is too, But this is truly fun, and everything surrounding it has been fun. It's been a great experience for the past 15 years, but there was a huge break in there where it wasn't an experience, like 12 years, between. So I will say for the last 2 years which has been how much time it's been since I recorded the first stuff for Arcturus, for Mengsk in StarCraft 2. It's been almost right around exactly 2 years. I think it was March or April of 2009 that I did my first recordings for StarCraft 2. Mm-hmm. So 2 years have already passed, which is hard to imagine.
Did you have a favorite line to say as Arcturus Mengsk?
Well, I have two favorite lines. Mm-hmm. Actually, the one is I think I actually have with them. I have to go back and really listen because there was something else that cropped up at one point, and I can't remember it now. But obviously, they did the 30-second TV spot commercial. Mm. They ran during the basketball finals last year, the NBA, National Basketball Association finals between the Lakers and Boston. Where they integrated, so they call integrating one of my lines into the ad. And actually the tag for the ad was done by Neil. Mm-hmm. But it was mainly my voice. So it's, make no mistake. War is coming with all its glory and all its horror. That's one of my favorite lines.
Amazing.
And the other favorite line is, you had a lot of gumption, son, but you're in way over your head. That's to my son, Valerian. I admire your gumption. I guess that's it. I admire your gumption, son, but you're in way over your head. That's one of my favorite lines too.
Mm-hmm. A lot of voice actors don't actually look like their characters. I think you actually do.
Thank you, Jojo.
No, in a way. What other characteristics do you personally share with Arcturus Mengsk?
Well, let's see. We're both emperors. We both are always righteously upset with Jimmy Rayner. What other character? We have a beard. I have long hair. He has long hair. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm also a witty person. Mm-hmm. As is Mengsk. If I may digress for a second or get a little more deeper into that, it is amazing because truly the character does look like a stage character I've actually done at one point in time or another. When I was going to record this stuff 2 years ago, I asked Andrea Toyas, who was the casting director for it, and she works at Blizzard. She's also a director in her own right, but she was handling the setting up the casting and so on and so forth, and the sessions. I asked her to please send me some just some bites, some sound bites from the original game, so I could, it's been 14 years since I'd heard myself.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly 12, 13 years. So she said, sure, she would. And then she sent along a couple of the artwork, a couple of pictures of the artwork. One of them is a very well-known shot, a profile, full body shot of Mengsk with a I'm sorry, another kind of character, another kind of figure at his side or kind of behind him, and I don't know which one it is. When she sent that to me, and then she sent me the full body shot, and then she sent me a closer, tighter shot of just his face, and it just blew me out of my chair. I went, this guy looks like me. How is this possible? None of these guys who are doing the artwork, who are doing the characters and drawing and stuff like that and creating them from scratch, they don't know what I look like. They don't have an 8x10 of me sitting there. Certainly don't have an 8x10 of me from, now. They might have had one way back then, but not today. How did they come up with somebody that looks like me? Because it is, it's wild. None of the other characters that I know of, I suppose in a way, in a kind of a stretched out kind of way, you could say that Trish Helfer looks a little like Kerrigan without all of the extra with the transformational look, the original Sarah Kerrigan look before she gets amended. So maybe, but other than that, I think I'm the only actor who really does bear an uncanny resemblance to my character there. And I don't know if there are any other traits. I will have to leave that, let all others who know me be the judge if Mengsk and I share any other traits.
Yeah. Your character Mengsk, what is he after? What is it he wants? I mean, did he always just crave power, or is there more that drives him? What do you think?
He just wants to be loved. That's all that it is. He just wants to be loved. He wants to have more followers on Facebook than anybody else in the world. And he figures that the way he can accomplish that is to rule the world. No, I tell you, I find it fascinating and fun to conjure up all of these possibilities about the character, and it's an ongoing reward to talk about this stuff and hear what fans have to say about it, and so on and so on. But I really, it's like I have to go back and do more and more research of my own character before I can think. I mean, when I'm talking about, I don't play as an actor. You can't play bad. You can't play villain, and you have to justify. I can't play a character that I don't like. That's very difficult to do. To play a character, whether it's on stage or in television, film, video game, to play a character that I personally don't care for, or that I see no redeeming qualities to this person. I have to find a redeeming quality somewhere in that, in there. Mm-hmm. And I think that maybe he doesn't admit to it, but maybe things got out of control for him. I think he started off from a good place. I don't think he was, he's not always, he wasn't born evil, Maybe he had bad parenting. I don't know. There was, something that made him go, keep in mind, they were, the Kerrigan and he and Rayner, they were all on the same side there, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Didn't they come into it together and everything? Mm-hmm. And then he became one of those people that, for whatever reasons, having power, I guess, breeds the desire for more power. Yeah. Or, having a certain power if you have certain traits that are false in your character, might lead one to going over to a darker side and trying to preserve your power. And in order to do that, you end up doing bad things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got a Darth Vader syndrome. What can I say?
Yeah.
Going over to the dark side.
How involved are you in the StarCraft community that's growing so much right now? I mean, I can see you are because you're doing this interview with me. Is there anything else?
Well, bits and pieces and here and there. I become more involved with the StarCraft community. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite as easy to access, I think, as someone like Robert is. I mean, I am antiquated when it comes to promoting myself. This internet age kind of came up on us all fast, and some people jumped on the bandwagon earlier, and some of us didn't jump on it so soon. I don't even have a website. I finally have a domain name, and I will have a website within the next couple of months. But it takes a while to build it up. So I don't have, unless someone's really out there wanting to look for me, you can find me on IMDb. You can find me, I have a Facebook fan page, which I prefer all fans to go and use, by the way. Well, I just might say I'm also on Facebook regularly, but like Neil, I reserve my Facebook page, my regular one, for people that I really know well and stuff. And I try to get all of my fans to go over to my Facebook fan page, which I'm quite active on, by the way. And I am trying to get more and more involved with the StarCraft community. And I love kind of all things StarCraft. And thanks to Neil, the three of us, I call us the three amigos, we recently were at the Animation on Display convention in San Francisco, which is a small convention dedicated mostly to anime, which is a whole nother world and a whole nother fascinating, interesting slice of life. So that kind of thing, and I think we brought a little more StarCraft to them, quite frankly, than what they would normally be tied into. So that was cool. That was great. And since I'm from Northern California, I enjoyed it even more because I got to spend some more time up there. And then this interview with you today, I did an interview again last night with someone else. I'm trying to stay in with it because I find it fascinating. I find it fun, great fun. And hopefully this number of fans and the people listening out there will help my appearance in additional games. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Going to the powers that be in places going, we want James Harper to be in that game. That's who we think should.
We will do that.
That's great. And also, there are a number of, I am amazed all the time more and more at how many people I know actually, voice, characters in video games and stuff. There are so many video games out there now, so many characters out there, so much animation stuff going on. And actually, and I'd never met Robert in the original game, because of course as a voice actor, normally you go in and you do everything by yourself. Rarely do you meet the other person or any other persons. So in 2009 at BlizzCon 2009, I met Robert and Trish Helfer and Neil, and Fred Tatasciore, who does Zeratul, and a couple of other people, down at BlizzCon 2009 for this panel discussion we were on. The only person to show, and I didn't even know he was in the game, is somebody I have known for 15 years, Dave Fenoy. He does Tosh.
Yeah.